One of the things that I see very often in class, first works, we usually ask students to come in and give us the best shot they got. What happens sometimes is that they come in and they give us 50%. Because they're kind of holding off a little bit. They expect the coaches to tell them what to do, which is, you know, what we do at the end of the first work, to give them some feedback. So sometimes they hold back a little bit. I think that's a kind of a consequence of rehearsals. Rehearsals, as I understand, and how I learned acting, it's not about just doing the minimum. It's not about doing the technical stuff only. Rehearsals are like performances. I see no difference whatsoever. The difference is that you're going to acquire that experience of being that person and telling that story as you go. So first rehearsal, of course, is not going to be as amazing as the third or the last one. But you should always have that quality in rehearsals as if you're going to perform. So I just know one page, so that's all I'm going to do in that rehearsal. So I'm going to know my lines very well, and then I'm going to try to get out of the way and go to that creative spot and actually tell that one page, tell that story, that one page story. I'm not going to hold back and just say my lines and do the minimum and kind of feel awkward and try to figure out, intellectually how to move and how to say my lines. No, I do that before, when I'm still reading the lines, or maybe not. It depends on how you work. But when you go to that rehearsal, you have to do your best as if you're performing. Because it should always be better.
Every time you get a chance to do this scene, it's a chance to do a performance, whether you're in rehearsing it, whether you're in class doing a first work or a second work, or whether you're on a set doing take 30 or third night of a play. Every time you do it you should put your whole heart and soul into it, no matter where you're doing it or what the circumstances are. That's how you'll start to learn more and more about the character, and the character will evolve. We do see that a lot in first works. You see it in the audition room all the time. Actors holding back, actors giving 50%. And boy, nowadays, in that audition room and that first take, first day on a film set, you've got to go. You've got to go crazy.
We get that a lot. It's like people go to an audition, and an actor goes to an audition, and then he tells us afterwards, like, when I left the room, I was like, oh, I so wish I had done that. Or, and it's like, why didn't you?
Yeah.
You had the impulse. Why didn't you go with it?
Yeah.
They're holding back because they expect somebody to tell them
what to do. And that doesn't happen. I mean, part of that can be attributed maybe to training. There are a lot of training. There's a lot of camera classes, especially, that will show you this they'll take a picture, a bad videotape of you, and then sit down, and there'll be a coach looking at this picture, telling you what to do and how this shouldn't have been that way, this should be that way. Mm-hmm. So they arrive on a set and they think that's what a director does. And it's not, So in a way, we do a disservice as coaches if we are fixing scenes or telling them how to do something, because that is not going to happen on a set with a director. It's not their job. Most of them aren't very good at it. If you're very lucky, maybe you'll get a director who's been an actor, for years or something. But most of the time, as a director, we expect you to know your job, to know your instrument, and to get up there and go and do it.
And it's your best shot to actually be in the movie in the end, because if you do the same thing every take, then the editor doesn't have a lot to work with. So they're waiting, they're expecting you to give them jams in every single take.
Yeah.
And sometimes actors, they're afraid of, oh, what about continuity? Or what about this? What about that? No, you have to, when you're on the set, there's no space to think technically. Right. Now it's creative. You've done your homework. You learned your lines. Yep. You researched your character. Whatever works for you during that process of rehearsals or preparation, whatever you want to call it. It's there. Now you have to let go, and you just have to enjoy yourself.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, acting is fun, and that's another thing that I think Straeon is about is getting us back to the idea that acting is fun. It's not this torturous psychological, angst-ridden thing. It's fun. It's playtime.